Good afternoon, this is Gabriel Jackson, and welcome to BJC, Mitzvah Day, number 92, Part 2, use of the Sefer Hachinuch, the prohibition to cook meat with milk. Once again, this is found in Parshas Mishpatim, which is the second book, the book of Shmos. And we'd like to dedicate the mitzvah in loving memory of Chaim ben Shmuel on his yard site. Is the Shamash and Aliyah. Thank you, David and Wendy Goldman, for sponsoring on the gold level in his memory. The Chinuch explains from Chulin the scriptural basis for understanding the word Gedi in this verse in its more inclusive sense. How do you learn that this is true? From that which you find in numerous places in the Torah, where the word Gedi is written, and the Torah found it necessary to further clarify the term by writing Gedi Izim, a kid of goats. You thus learn that when it says only the word Gedi, without specifying the species, it does not refer only to young goats. Rather, even the meat of any other animal is likewise included. Among the underlying purposes of this mitzvah is, apparently, that it is similar to the idea that we have written with regard to the mitzvah of executing the sorceress, which is mitzvah number 62. That is, that the world contains certain things that we are prohibited to mix together due to the reason that we stated there in that mitzvah. It is thus possible that with regard to the mixing of meat with milk through the act of cooking, the reason of the prohibition is based on that same foundation. Chinuch supports this idea based on various unique aspects of the meat and milk prohibition. Somewhat of a proof for this explanation is the fact that in this mitzvah, a prohibition has been transmitted to us against performing the very act of mixing meat and milk through cooking, even without eating the mixture afterward. We already said that that's a separate mitzvah. It is apparent from this that the prohibition to cook meat and milk together is not due at all to the harm that one would suffer from eating such a mixture. Rather, the intent is simply that we should not perform the action of this mixing itself due to the necessity of distancing that matter which we have described, i.e. the blending of elements that must remain separate in accordance with the order that the Creator prescribed for His world. Having explained that the underlying purpose of this prohibition is not the harmful effect of eating a mixture of meat and milk, but the action of mixing meat with milk, Chinuch explains the purpose of the separate prohibition against eating or benefiting from such a mixture. God has additionally enjoined us elsewhere in the Torah, mitzvah number 113, that even if it should perhaps occur that this mixture was made, we are not to eat it or benefit from it, and the purpose of that prohibition is in order to distance us from the endeavor of mixing it. Chinuch provides a further demonstration of the difference between the meat and milk prohibition and the prohibitions regarding other forbidden foods. Furthermore, even if one eats the meat and milk mixture without benefiting at all from the act of eating, he still incurs malchus, lashes, if the violation was intentional, a law that does not apply to any other of the food prohibitions. All this indicates that the foundation of the reason for the prohibition against eating the mixture is due to the objectionable nature of the mixture itself, as we've explained with regard to sorcery. Okay, we'll continue with this mitzvah, God willing, tomorrow. Thanks for listening to sponsor a future mitzvah. Just $36 or $100 for the gold. And we'll see you tomorrow.